Incidentally, I am Sarah in this book. Sarah is closing in on 70. I'm 10 years her senior. Why would anything change at this stage of our lives? Except neither of us is acting our age. Her morning regimen of vigorous 7 to 8 mile walks, runs, undeterred by rain, obliterating fog, precipitous hills, is followed by office appointments with clients. She has a small practice in clinical psychology, established after returning to school in her early 50s for a doctorate. Let's hear it for Dr. Sarah Brown. Volunteer work for nonprofit agencies, board meetings, women's club activities, faxes, emails. I use pencil and a lined yellow pad for my writing. The tactile guiding and shaping, indispensable to me, are akin, I imagine, to the guitarist's choice to pluck with fingers rather than pick. I do not envy her computer literacy. Getting dressed, prepared to leave her place around 8:30 in the morning, from the second-story bedroom window, I watch her stride off into brimming sunlight, swirling fog, spitting rain. I marvel at the vivacity of her gait, brisk, sure-footed, arms cockily swinging, short, silvery hair bobbing metronomically in a delicious sway to the fetching hips and behind, the pace and carriage of a woman half her age. I'm not a walker. My exercise, a lifelong outdoor passion, is singles tennis. Now, would you think an ex-Jesuit priest, a rangy 70-year-old Irishman with a cropped beard, an unspecific gay air about him, would wreak havoc on a pair of non-practicing Jews in the October-November of their lives? He had officiated at the non-denominational wedding of Sarah's younger son to a sweet French girl, 10 months earlier, and he and Sarah had become friendly. She had never before met him. He'd been recommended for the job by a member of Sarah's club. At the reception, following the ceremony, both held at a Marin County yacht club, he asked her to dance. An energetic, moderately skilled jitterbugger, he had the bridegroom's mother happily flushing from exertion. I'm a non-dancer. I suspect most musicians are. When our junior and senior proms came along, we were usually in the back on the bandstand, not prancing out front. It turned out he rented an apartment in our neighborhood. Learning of Sarah's daily walking regimen, he proposed joining her one morning. She accepted, someone to share the long, invigorating walks with. Now I'd watch her from the window as she set out to occasionally meet him halfway between residences. If I inquired, she was always forthcoming. Vernon's joining me this morning. No need not to be. As I've said, I figured the amiable guy was gay. Some 5 months after her son's wedding, I came home from a big gig, close to midnight, and found Sarah, still dressed, reclining on the sofa, an open New Yorker, face down on her stomach. Even if she'd gone out for the night, she was invariably in bed this late, reading or sleeping. How was the evening, she asked. Crowded, noisy, resulting in minuscule tips. You remarked on that before. People can't distinguish the songs you're playing. That's my theory. How was your walk with the Jesus guy this morning? Did you sing in the rain? I wish you wouldn't use that expression. We did not sing. We marched fearlessly. It was cold, it was wet, but forget the walk. She smiled slyly up at me. Guess who I found out today isn't gay? We're now going to go to my writing. and my sections are journal entries. May 19th, 2006. Walk with V this morning. His idea. Weather predicted foul. Offered him an out, a rain check. Nonsense, he said. Whatever comes up, I'm for it. Good for him. Rather than pick me up here, I suggested we meet halfway at the Park Hill corner. Needlessly cautious, as I told Dee we might be walking together. Still, he's been acting a tad edgy about the connection. 5+ miles of chilling cold, periodic cloudbursts, hardly felt it, impervious, conversation easy. Halfway through the wet slog, he slowed the pace and dropped the bombshell, asked how I saw our relationship. Friendship, of course, I said. I want to be candid, he said. I had hoped for more than friendship, which momentarily knocked me off my stride. The hunky ex-priest is straight. Gathered myself, told him I'm flattered, but it's not possible. That part of my life is with Dawn. On the way back, conversation moved to a more neutral ground. Our shared professions, our newness with each other, and an undeniable chemistry spawned on the dance floor at Chris and Nicole's wedding and last week's club dinner dance. Dee had a gig, yet might have offered to hire a sub and gone grudgingly with me. But I'd have had to drag him onto the floor. The man is really a stellar dancer, nimble and adroit, especially on fast tempos. Showing more moves I doubt he'd learned in the seminary. Explained that one of the first things he'd done after leaving the order was sign up for Afro-Cuban dance lessons. Fascinating he'd so artfully prepare himself for the socializing you'd assume is lacking in the Jesuit life. Something he said that night at the club stays with me. I'm not above showing off the old razzle-dazzle, while deftly spinning me around, the soul with patience between tunes as I caught my breath. Now, as we approached his place, thoroughly drenched, he suggested I come in for coffee and dry off. We were 3 blocks from my house. Tempted, I gave him my most winning smile and said, but then I'd get wet all over again, wouldn't I?